He was the architect of history's largest financial fraud, and today it's Judgment Day for Bernard Madoff. CBS News chief investigative correspondent Armen Keteyian is live this morning at the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Armen, good morning.
Good morning, Maggie. You know, for the last 3 months, Bernie Madoff has spent his days in a 7.5 by 8-foot jail cell here in Lower Manhattan, not far from this court. Today, he'll find out how he will spend the rest of his life. The last time 71-year-old Bernie Madoff set foot in federal court last March, he pleaded guilty to 11 felony counts of securities fraud, money laundering, and other federal crimes before being hauled off to jail. Today, he'll find out his fate, up to 150 years in prison, hanging over his head.
I don't think he's going to get anywhere near the 150 years that some other people are talking about. Given his age, I don't see where he walks out of prison alive again.
It was back in December that Madoff's arrest set off a financial bombshell. One day after confessing to his 2 sons, his financial genius was all just one big lie. Basically, a giant Ponzi scheme. Actually, a record-setting scheme bilking more than 8,000 investors, including Nobel laureate Elie Wiesel and Academy Award-winning director Steven Spielberg, out of $65 billion.
His friends thought that he was the kindest, most generous, wisest man they knew. And it turned out it was all a facade. He was betraying them, and he was doing it with a smile.
Madoff's lawyer has urged Judge Denny Chen to look beyond mob vengeance and sentence the disgraced financier to just 12 years in prison, citing his shame, advanced age, and cooperation with the government. If Madoff's victims have their way, he'll never see the light of day.
He has no remorse, and because of that, I think he should be punished and should spend the rest of his life in jail.
Prior to sentencing, 10 victims are scheduled to address the court, expected to express the outrage boiling in 113 letters recently written to Chin. Judith Welling and her husband, who lost $2 million, wrote one of them.
No punishment could be severe enough to compensate for what transpired. It is
From our reporting, the record sentence for this kind of white-collar crime is 127 years handed down last year in California. But that was for only, and I say only, $187 million worth of fraud, Maggie. We're talking here, as you know, $65 billion.